What is your American dream?
My American dream is that we just stop talking about walls. A society without walls. That's my American dream.
I pray for, everyone to be happy and be at peace.
People come to this country for the same reasons. They try to get away from what's going on at home, and we should embrace each other. Got two things. I hope that Spanish is prosperous for our son Dion, who's 8 years old now, and we hope that he will be taking over our company in the future.
My American dream is I have to successful my every single thing because I have a one daughter and my wife. So that's I want my goal, hard work, and give it to them.
My American dream is one day I have my home pancake all over the place.
I'm living it. The fact that I'm able to open up my own food truck and be able to represent my culture and be able to expose it and just kind of create unity representing Ethiopians and Eritreans.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome everybody, December 9th, it is Brad Show Live. My name is Brad Bernstein. I am joined by Yonathan, Yo-Yo Elias.
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm good.
Yo-Yo is in the house.
Yo-Yo is in the house.
Welcome back, Julian, the TriCaster guy from beyond extended vacation.
He's back.
He is back. Is Julian, the TriCaster guy, happy to be back on Brad Show Live? He says maybe yes.
A little unsure.
There, but I think that was a yes.
I think it was.
I think that was a yes,
I'm
right?
trying to fix something right here.
And Yo-Yo is very, very happy today.
I
He
am.
came into the studio today. He says, "You wouldn't believe what happened. I'm coming out of the subway, and there's a big crowd, and someone from behind, I don't know who, it was a woman's voice, but it was amongst a huge crowd of people, yelled out, 'Hey, Yo-Yo!'
And looked back at me and just waved. And I was
Right.
like, hey,
Hey!
what's up?
Right.
I don't know who it was because we were both like on the way. She was on the way home, I think, and I was on the way to work.
And usually you get recognized for being Yonathan Elias.
Yonathan Elias.
Right, and lots of people recognize you for being Yonathan Elias.
But
on
now-
Bradshaw Live, you're Yo-Yo.
Exactly.
Or
so
your
that
baby
means,
boy.
Or baby boy.
Right, can you imagine if somebody yelled out, "Hey, baby boy"?
I'm like, that's definitely a Brad squatter then.
That's right. Well, let's say hello to Jessica Levy. How are you? Mohammed Fido. Is it Fido with a question? We'll get back to you in a little bit. Anna K. Moxham, how are you? Barbara Lord, squad up. Patrona Collins, squad up. Ja Love shared the stream to somebody. Thank you very much, Ja. Cordella Douglas, squad up. And who else we have here? Dion Reed. How are you? Tamika Nelson. K. Stages Fawn. Marcia Watson, we see watching. And Carol Anderson, the Tiger, squad up on YouTube. Sexy Sham Myers, back it up. Ricky, always first in the comments, or
Yep.
second. Road 23 Taylor says waiting. Well, the wait's over.
All right.
Ja Love, I guess, is double fisting. Max Santos, how are you? Jessica Kalimi double fisting as well.
Ooh.
Cordella double fisting. A lot of double fisters
Yeah.
today. Cindy Albert, squad up. Hyacinth Burke, squad up.
You already said who the first time viewer is?
No, who?
Tutty Henniger.
Tuddy Henniger.
First time viewer. Good
First
evening.
time viewer
They
with
said
a
good-
question.
They said good evening.
Good evening. By the
So,
way,
okay.
I know a little bit about Tuddy already.
Do you?
She's married and has a husband in Pakistan because that is part of her question.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Well, welcome.
Welcome.
her.
Angela Rawlings, Kevin Lowe, Jad Lyed, Miss Berry has a question we'll get to in a little bit. Drew Berry also with a question. I don't know if any relation to Miss Berry. Cute one, who is obviously adorable,
Right.
says, squad up, everybody. Mickey Boosh, how are you, squad zone? That's a new one. I never heard of Squad Zone.
This is the Squad
This is the
Zone.
Squad Zone, right?
I like it.
All right. Squad Zone. And who else we got? Misa Cat Tom saying hi.
Yeah.
Now, for Tootie and all the other ones who are new, and all the other ones who are part of the squad, and all the other ones who've been with us from the beginning, or joined us in the beginning, or joined us in the middle, but say they came from the beginning, but now watch every day. For everybody, Yo-Yo, why don't you tell them what they need to do while I stretch and get ready for some schmoozing?
Absolutely. All right, this is for everyone who knows about the show, everyone who doesn't know about the show, especially you guys that are just joining us. Now, for everybody on YouTube and on Facebook, I need you all to join the Facebook fan page. Okay, so this is gonna be a link that we're gonna put in the comment section right now. All you have to do is click it and press join, and we will accept it, all right? So make sure you do that. What you're gonna get with that, just in case you don't understand, sometimes we don't get to every single social media question. With this, you could actually put your social media question in first first day in the morning if you want to. And the first 5 that we get, we will say it. We'll ask those questions at the beginning of social media check-in. So you guys will guarantee an answer to your question. All right, so now on Facebook, I need everybody to start sharing. This is the number one thing we have to do, especially right now. This is the only way we can get the show out to the entire world. You guys come from the entire world, so it really, really helps if you guys share it to your friends' pages, share it in an inbox. If you guys know any friends and family who might need any help or know anyone who needs help, make sure you send it to them. Just think about it, all right? Sit down, think about it. You might know, you never know, all right? Not unless you sit down and think about it. So share it in a group, share it in an inbox, share it to people's pages, share it onto your page, all right? Don't just share it to us, because we're already watching. All right, and not only that, but make sure you comment in the section right now. Tell us everything you're feeling about anything we're talking about. Also put all your questions in there. We definitely love the interaction. So don't forget to like, love, smiley face, wow face, sad face, mad face, whatever you know that we're talking about. I want you guys to show that emotion.
I want you to know something.
What's up?
You're doing such a fabulous job. I'm very surprised you only got one Hey Yo-Yo today. You should have gotten at least 5. The way that you are getting people to share right now, you should have been on the subway getting at least 6 to 8 Hey Yo-Yos from people who had the video shared to them, right?
Exactly. Now, if everybody shares it, then I can't get through the train.
That's right.
You know, that's what I want.
Yo-Yo wants to go on the train tonight and be like, bombed with fans who got this video shared to them,
I want security.
Yes.
All right, I want to hire security, and I can't do that unless you guys share. All right, so share so I can show you guys or tell you guys more stories. All right, so make sure you do that. And now, also on YouTube, first thing I need you all to do is subscribe. Click that little red button right there. You see it right there. And click that bell right next to it. You get notified anytime we get on, all right? So not only for our live shows, but anytime we upload a video. You might miss a very important segment, so we upload little segments to make sure that you guys can get all your questions answered, even if we're not live. So make sure you click that bell for the notification. Of course, you guys got to put all your questions in the comment section. Tell us exactly what you're feeling as well about anything we're talking about. And last but not least, on YouTube, you already know what makes Brad happy. Click the thumbs up. All right, so I want to see how many we have.
I already did it. We have 17. One is by me. So it's only 16 people actually
one is by me.
So that means 15 people did it, Yo-Yo. What a sad number of thumbs up.
It's not, we just started. So I know that you guys are going to click it right now. So everybody, especially Tuddy, tell your friend, look, and Tuddy just said she just shared. See, this is exactly why we're going to make sure we get to your question, all right?
From Pakistan
we're going to make sure.
We're going to make sure her husband from Pakistan gets here the way she shared it, right?
Exactly. So everybody on YouTube, click the thumbs up right now. And this is where we are about to schmooze with Brad.
Yes. 1.5 years later, into Rad Show Live, Yo-Yo gets the word right.
Listen, it took a while.
Congratulations. Mazel tov on schmoozing.
Thank you
with
so much.
Yo-Yo.
Thank you. Thank you. It took a while.
So meanwhile, Donald Trump has been saying that this whole entire Russia assisted him in winning an election in 2016 was a witch hunt. So he has the Department of Justice, which is under him, he's in charge of the Department of Justice, investigate where all of this whole witch hunt thing came from. He says the whole thing's been a witch hunt. It's been a political job. There was no Russian assistance with Trump.
Right.
Russia did not help Trump win the presidency. Why does he want people to believe that? Because otherwise he's an illegitimate president. Okay? He doesn't want to be illegitimate. He wants to be legitimate. So he says, I had no help whatsoever. So he had a gentleman by the name of Michael Horowitz. He's the Justice Department Inspector General. Investigate, there he is, this guy right here. Investigate, by the way, this guy, Michael Horowitz, works for Donald Trump. Okay? Investigate how this whole Russian hoax, according to Donald Trump, started. And what happened was, do you know how it all started?
How?
There was a guy by the name of George Papadopoulos who went to jail.
Okay.
Who, by the way, is running right now for Congress, George Papadopoulos.
Okay.
The same George, against the woman who just left Congress for having a thrumsome. What was the a thrumsome?
Threesome.
A threesome, but it was a
Thruple.
A truple.
Thruple.
A thruple. They were in a thruple.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
so
I remember.
George, I forgot what the word was.
Yes,
So
thruple.
George Papadopoulos, he's now running for Congress, but 2-3 years ago, he was in a London pub getting drunk with a senior spy type foreign agent / government agent / somebody important from Australia.
Right.
And while he was drunk during the campaign between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, he told this Australian spy / government officer / liaison person / James Bond guy from Australia, whoever it was. We don't know the name of the person.
Right.
By the way, the Russians stole all of Hillary Clinton's emails, and they're going to publish it on behalf of Donald Trump. And you know what? It's really going to make a big difference in the election.
Jeez.
Now, George Papadopoulos said this to an Australian dude. The dude worked for the Australian government, was some sort of...
This is George, right?
That's George. Was some sort of top spy from Australia. And he took it back to the Australian government and says, you wouldn't believe what George Papadopoulos just said. He works for Donald Trump.
Oof.
And they just held the information, the Australians, until the email dump by WikiLeaks. Once the email dump happened by WikiLeaks, which surprisingly was about 6 hours after Donald Trump says to the world at a press conference, WikiLeaks, if you're listening, please dump these emails. All of a sudden, the emails get dumped.
Right.
And the Australians contact the FBI and they say, something's up. And the FBI started, and that's how this whole thing began, and the FBI started investigating. So Donald Trump says it's a big hoax.
Right.
None of this happened. Well, according to General Michael Horowitz, he concluded that the FBI and the Justice Department properly launched an investigation into all of this, that the information they got from the Australians was very credible. Eventually, George Papadopoulos went to jail for lying to the U.S. Attorney's Office. He's now running for Congress. But what he did find was that the FBI did mishandle in parts of the monitoring of the Donald Trump campaign. But the overall investigation was justified, and it rebuts the president's depiction of a politically biased plot against him. So the end result of this investigation by Donald Trump's people was that the investigation into Trump was justified, but like all police officers, they always screw up.
Right.
They always screw up. That's what a police officer testifying is the criminal defense lawyer's favorite person to cross-examine.
Really?
They always screw up. Like, even in OJ, they screwed up.
Yes, that is true.
They
That is
screwed
true.
up everything.
That is true.
Generally, the police always screw up the investigation.
Wow.
But what they were, and that's just general.
General.
But what the Inspector General did say is that they were justified, the FBI, in monitoring what Donald Trump says spying on the Trump campaign. Now, William Barr, who's the head of the Department of Justice, he's the head U.S. attorney, his guy came out, the general inspector, and said everything was justified. He says he doesn't like the report. So we've had Congress come out with a report. They're investigating and want to impeach Trump for parts of this. Okay, parts of the impeachment have to do with, lying to Congress about what Russia did to help. The Mueller report came out and said Trump obstructed justice, although they could not tie Donald Trump or anyone in his campaign specifically working with the Russians in coordination to do this. But we do know that the Russians did help Trump, but we don't know, there was no proof of any coordination between the Russians and the Trump campaign.
Right.
And now we have the Inspector General for the Department of Justice say that there was credible evidence that the Russians were helping Trump, and it justified an investigation by the FBI. Well, now we have 3 different credible investigations all coming back to the same exact thing. But of course, Porky, all right, William Barr says no, he doesn't like that. So now he has hired an investigator of the investigator of the investigator. Okay? He has now hired a new person. Because they're going to keep hiring investigators until one investigator finally comes out with what they want to hear. So now William Barr is now hired, and by the way, he's been working a few weeks already on this because I'm sure William Barr knew that the Inspector General's report was going to come out negative against Donald Trump. So he has already now hired a 3rd investigator. So this is the investigator of the investigator of the investigator.
Lord.
His name is U.S. Attorney for Connecticut, John Durham. And now he's investigating the Inspector General, who's investigating the Papadopoulos affair, who was investigated by Mueller because everybody says this crap happened, except nobody likes the conclusions.
Right.
And we have some video of all of this, according to Jilly.
Disgrace what's happened with respect to the things that were done to our country. It should never again happen to another president.
Yeah, you know what? Should never happen. A president shouldn't use foreign powers to help him get elected.
That part.
To help him get elected. That should never happen again.
That part.
Right? Meanwhile, updating today's impeachment hearings as the world turns in Washington, we had Daniel Goldman, who was the Democratic counsel. He was the guy who was asking all the questions. This dude. He was asking all the questions during the impeachment and hearings. Now he came to testify about what he learned from all of those questions. And what he said is this. He said, this investigation moved swiftly and intensively, as all good investigations should, to the extent that other witnesses would be able to provide more context and detail about this scheme. Their failure to testify is due solely to the fact that President Trump obstructed the inquiry and refused to make them available. He said the critical findings that the Democrats discovered during all of these hearings, there were a total of 6 findings. Let me list them quickly.
Okay.
Because we got to get moving. First, President Trump used the power of his office to pressure and induce the newly elected president of Ukraine to interfere in the 2020 presidential election for President Trump's personal and political benefit. Second, in order to increase the pressure on Ukraine to announce the politically motivated investigations that President Trump wanted, President Trump withheld a coveted Oval Office meeting and $391 of military assistance. Third, President Trump's conduct sought to undermine our free and fair elections. Fourth, faced with the revelation of this pressure campaign against Ukraine, President Trump directed an unprecedented effort to obstruct Congress's impeachment inquiry. And finally, President Trump's behavior is a clear and present danger to future U.S. elections. That's on top of everything he did in 2016.
Right.
On Twitter this morning, Trump retweeted one of his tweets from last week. In his earlier tweet, Trump insisted that Ukraine's president had said Trump had done nothing wrong. Today he added, the do-nothing Democrats are a disgrace. And what we already talked about this, of course the president of Ukraine is going to say Trump did nothing wrong. He could care less about U.S. politics. His concern is Ukraine. And right now, Russia occupies part of Ukraine. And President Trump holds the checkbook to more military aid month after month.
Right.
Is he going to piss off the guy who's got to write him a check
No.
in December and January and February and March? He already pissed him off and got the military withheld. So
Right.
of course he's going to say no.
Exactly.
He could care less what's going on in impeachment. He's
just wants
concerned,
his money.
write the goddamn check
That's
to
it.
Ukraine, put it in our bank so I can pay our military so we can fight the Russians. Meanwhile, on top of all of this, Trump saying it's absolutely baseless. He's still saying that he will not comply with any requests to appear at the impeachment, to have witnesses appear at the impeachment, yet he says it is completely baseless. On more important Trump news.
Oh,
Okay.
yay.
All right. Not only is there a clear and present danger to our country, which I believe. Do you believe that? Yonathan?
Absolutely.
I also believe. You know who George Conway is?
Who's that?
He is the husband of what's the woman's name, Joe? Of Kellyanne Conway.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
the husband.
Yes.
Okay, they live together in some very strange marriage.
Yeah.
Where Kellyanne Conway is supporting Donald Trump and one of his top supporters.
Right.
And he sleeps in bed allegedly with her or next to her or certainly in the same house. And he tweets all day what a horrible human being the pumpkin is.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
now
that's kind of weird because
now
I remember.
this is what George Conway tweeted on December 7th, and then I'll explain to you the context. He tweeted, "Okay then, no need for a neuropsych dementia workup at all. This all now makes perfect sense in context. We see a steel trap mind at work, a stable genius in action, the likes of which the world has never seen. The nation should be grateful." He's obviously referencing our president. And he's referencing the president in his opening remarks, and we have the video. I can't say it any better. Let's watch the video of what he was referencing.
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once. They end up using more water. EPA is looking at that very strongly, at my suggestion.
Yeah, people are using too much, flushing the toilets 15 times, and they're using too much water. And now he's having the EPA look at the number of times people are flushing their toilets. You can't make this stuff up. Yonathan, let me ask you a question. When you go to the toilet,
yes,
how often do you flush after you go?
Listen,
was it under 10 or more than 10? Because according to Donald Trump, people flush the toilets 15
First of all,
times.
I do courtesy flushes because just to make sure that all this. But I'm definitely not over 5.
You're a big eater. One of the biggest eaters I know, right?
Absolutely.
And the most courtesy flushes you would ever do at one time is 5. Well, Pumpkin, he does at least 15. Well, he's having the EPA.
Could you even imagine the stuff that's coming out of his body?
You can't make this stuff up. He's having the EPA look into how many times people are doing courtesy flushes.
Because that's so important in our world.
He says we have and I'm quoting the Pumpkin. He says, we have a situation we're looking at very strongly as sinks and showers and other elements of bathrooms where you turn the faucet on an area where there's tremendous amounts of water, where it rushes out to sea because you can never handle it and you don't get any water. We have lots of rain. We don't know what we're doing with the rain.
Gosh.
Oh, my God. Now, Trump said that the White House is also looking into light bulbs because the new light bulb makes him look orange.
Okay.
Let's watch this video.
Oh my God.
Can't make this stuff up. We have the video for
And the end result is you leave the faucet on and it takes you much longer to wash your hands. New bulb is many times more expensive and it doesn't make you look as good. Of course, being a vain person, that's very important to me.
Oh my God.
It gives you an orange look. I don't want an orange
He claims
look.
now that he looks orange. Yonathan, he's claiming he looks orange because of light bulbs.
No, you're orange because you're orange, sir.
Let me explain something to you. If you're in a room with 20 people and the same light bulb is hitting everybody and only one human being in that room is orange, it ain't the light bulb, is it, Yo-Yo?
It means you got a bad tan job.
All right? It's not the light bulb.
At all.
You ever know? Did anybody?
The fact that he called himself vain, too, like...
Right. Did anybody ever complain that Melania looks like an orange?
No, she looks great, actually.
Or any of his aides next to him looks like an orange? Nope, it's only Donald Trump. For some reason, the light hits him differently. Now, all of this, in all seriousness, is because he's complaining about energy efficiency. That the United States, under Barack Obama, was on their way to being more energy efficient, meaning that the lights that we were using use less energy, the toilets that we're using are using less water, the sinks and faucets we're using are using less water. We are being more environmentally friendly as the world is getting warmer and our resources are getting scarcer and there are more and more people living on this planet. Right. And he says, I don't give a crap, literally. I want to do 15 courtesy flushes. I want to use as much energy as I can because I'm vain and I don't want to look orange.
That's our president.
Meanwhile, in New Zealand, did you see 5 people got killed in a volcano explosion today?
What?
Yes, off the coast of New Zealand.
Oh my gosh.
There is an island, I think it's called Winter Island. What is the name of the island? I'm not sure the name of the island. I believe it's called Winter Island. There were about 50 people on the island. All of them were tourists or tour guides bringing them on a tour of a volcano, White Island, bringing them on a tour of a volcano that they thought was not going to erupt.
Oh, man.
And while they were doing this tour, only because God knows, the volcano erupted. Unbeknownst to anybody, unbeknownst to scientists, the tour guides, anybody, there are 8 people missing, 5 people confirmed dead, perhaps more people missing. Jill read 8 people missing. I read a different number, but we're going to go with 8 people missing right now. Lots of people in the emergency room. And we have a video, or we have a picture. Can you imagine you're going on a hike to a volcano
that is so scary.
That you believe?
Didn't you went to a volcano
I went
recently?
to multiple volcanoes. I was in a
volcano. But even recently?
Yes, I was in a volcano in Hawaii, and I was in a volcano when I was even in St. Lucia, there's a volcano. But the volcano in St. Lucia hasn't erupted in 250 years.
But who's to say that it won't?
Exactly. Now, so far, reconnaissance flights over the area in the hours after the eruption revealed no signs of life. The focus is now on those critically injured. 31 people have so far been rescued. The country's most active cone volcano, located in the Bay of Plenty, about 30 miles off the northeast of New Zealand coast. It erupted at 2 p.m. today. Now, a commercial fisherman was said, it just looked like what you see, like a nuclear bomb going off. It's what it looked like. Kind of was turning into a mushroom cloud.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
You know, Don Harriet said, "Why would people go there?" But like, that's what people do.
But not only that, but you go on a tour guide.
Yeah.
They say we're going to bring you to a volcano. It hasn't erupted in umpteen years.
Yeah.
It's perfectly safe. You know, how many times do you go to volcanoes? And people live on islands where there's active volcanoes.
Right. Golly, that's so sad.
Let's see what else is happening here. Now, we talked about the banana.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay, remember the banana at Art Basel?
Yes.
This duct tape banana, it was sold for $120,000.
Yes.
It was titled Comedian because obviously, who would buy a duct tape banana for $120,000? Well, the joke is now on the artist because somebody walked over to the comedian banana installation and ate the banana. You can't make this up. Let's see the video.
Oh my God. And
we're about to play the video.
And there's video on
There's video of the man eating the banana. He came and stole the art and ate it.
Oh my God.
We have that video. No, we don't. But trust me, it's really funny.
But that's the video.
Trust me, I laughed. It's really funny. As onlookers shouted, "You're not supposed to touch the art."
Look at him.
The man ate it.
What?
Now, the gallery reported the incident to security. The man's name who ate it is David the Tuna, but the tuna slipped away with the banana in his stomach. Later, he called into the New York Post and said, It was the most delicious banana he ever ate in his life. And
Yeah,
Wicking said,
$120,000
and he
worth.
said, of course, I can eat the banana and the concept of the banana because I'm an artist and not a regular human. So he's a performance artist, and he ate the banana. He explained it's not about the piece, it's about the art performance.
Oh my God.
He said, Marzio Catalan, I love him. One artist eats another artist. It's fun. And now Datuna added, the performance name is called Hungry Artist. So this is
Art,
it's like almost like a joke now, right?
It is.
It's like a joke.
But like now what happens to the person that purchased it for $120,000?
Yeah,
Your bananas ate.
Well, according to the gallery spokesman, Lucian Terrace, he said that the performance artist, Datuna, in Hungry Artist, he did not destroy the work. The banana lives on. The idea of the banana is the art. Then later, to make matters worse, Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, after the banana goes up for sale, sold for $120,000, the guy Datuna eats the banana, calls that performance art. A guy by the name of, I can't make this stuff up, Rod Weber, 46, he was arrested on Sunday for criminal mischief now in Art Basel after live streaming himself scrolling conspiracy theory message in red lipstick on the area where the banana was supposed to live. And he wrote, my name is Epstein didn't kill himself, Weber.
Wow.
So now he's writing conspiracy theory on where the banana was. That was eaten. That was eaten by the conceptual artist, Datuna, that was put up.
That wall's got some art history on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, this morning I put up a banana in Jilly's office. Do we have a picture? That is the Bradshaw Live banana. Our banana is a little different. It's straight. It's not sideways. It looks more like for hump day. We use black tape, which is a little more expensive than the gray tape used in Art Basel.
Do we have any takers?
I'm looking for anyone in the Brad Squad who would know anybody who would buy the Bradshaw Live banana. We're asking $125,000 for the Bradshaw Live banana. We think it's $5,000 worth more, $5,000 worth more, just because of the position we put it in and because we used black tape.
I agree.
Yes. And then finally, did you check Miss Universe?
I did.
Okay.
South Africa.
Another Miss Universe and another Steve Harvey screw up.
Yeah, they are paying him.
I mean, what are they going to fire this guy, right?
And hire me.
Yeah. Now remember in 2000.
They need to fire him for that blazer.
That's right. Yeah, they need to fire him for the blazer too. You're right. Now remember in 2015, Steve Harvey announced the wrong winner. We have that clip.
Oh my God, yes.
Do we have that clip?
Was it 2016?
We do not have that clip.
It was he announced Colombia, but it was supposed to be Philippines.
Correct. So now Harvey introduced the winner of the National Costume Contest, and after showing a photo of Miss Philippines in costume and declaring her the winner, Harvey says, this is it right here. He then introduced the contestant beside him, who was very clearly in a different outfit than the one that was shown on screen. Let's watch. Do we have that one, Jilly?
Yes.
It's not Philippines, it's Malaysia.
Okay, well, let me explain something to you. I just read that in the teleprompter. Y'all gonna quit doing this to me. I can read, it said now, they trying to fix it now.
He looks so scared. He's like, I'm not trying to lose my job now.
I'm telling you, I don't understand how this guy is still, he must be in an ironclad contract.
Yeah, but I do want to shout out Miss Teen, Miss America, Miss USA, and Miss Universe. This is the first time in history that all four are black
that
women.
Is
so
right.
Big ups to y'all black women, man.
Right, and she is now the first, by the way, Miss South Africa, Zozibini Zuni, if I'm pronouncing her name right. Not only that, she has become the first black woman to be crowned Miss Universe since 2011.
That's huge.
She said, I grew up in a world where a woman who looks like me, with my kind of skin and my kind of hair, was never considered to be beautiful.
Let's show. We got a picture of her. That's Malaysia. Let's show Miss
South
Africa
Miss
now.
South Africa?
Let's show Miss South Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We ain't trying to show Malaysia. She ain't win that. You know, give my sister.
Do we have Miss South Africa?
Give my sister her props.
Do we have it?
She had a short haircut. That's what I loved about it. Like, she didn't have to have no fake hair. She didn't have to have long hair. It's a nice short cut. If we have it, let's show it. If you don't, then y'all need to Google Miss South Africa.
There you go, Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
We do not have it, unfortunately. Short staff this week.
that?
I don't. You know what? Ask Steve Harvey how he screwed up from the teleprompter, okay? The same guy, I want you to know something. He moonlights for us after Miss Universe, screwed up both, up both broadcasts. All right, Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias, it's time for us to get into our meat and potatoes.
Ooh.
You know what time it is.
Oh,
it's 6:33.
Uh-oh.
What do we got to do for meat and potatoes?
Meat and potatoes, you already know what you guys have to do right now. We need everybody to start your watch parties on Facebook. Now, this is how we can get our show out another way, all right? I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's very simple. Look at this finger. You click the share button, 2 options down, it'll say start a watch party, then you click start. It literally will show you how many friends you have online. That means it will send a notification to every one of them right now. But I want you guys to go the extra step and start adding people in. You can invite your friends individually and it'll send a notification to their phone. So I want you guys to do that. Add them inside the comment section and tell them about the show. You know, this is your way of showing off your own show. This is your show as well. We'll call your name out too, just to make you look cool in front of your friends and family, okay? If you got your friends and family watching, go in the comment section right now and say, hey, I got my friends watching. Shout me out. I got you. Brad's got you, all right? So let's say it again. How you start a watch party, all right? I want you guys to watch this graphic again. All you have to do is click the little share button. All right, it's the little arrow that says share. An option down or 2 options down, it will say start a watch party. You can start that and it'll go straight to your profile, all right? And everybody on YouTube, I want you guys to first click the thumbs up. You guys are doing really well with that right now. We are at 49 thumbs up, so I need you guys to keep on going. We got 145 people watching, so I need you guys to do that right now. Click that thumbs up and make it blue. All right, and not only that, but when you click share, you could create a post. Create a post, put a little description about what the show is about, and send that out. All right, now this is what you guys have all been waiting for. This is when you call in and get your immigration questions answered with getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, we got Wayne from Louisville, Kentucky, waiting over 1 hour. You have something to say before I go to Wayne?
Yes,
Wayne?
we got Miss Cordella Douglas saying she got her friends watching right now on the watch party. So I got to say, what's up? Big ups to you.
Thank you, Cordella. Wayne, what can we do to help you?
Yes, Brad, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm having a side problem. My wife filed my adjustment of status, but we get an RFE saying that poverty level, she don't meet the poverty level, but the thing is, her income is tax-free. She way past the poverty level, but her income is tax-free.
Well, then you got to demonstrate that. You got to demonstrate where her income comes from. Where is she getting her income from?
She do like a family-owned care, but we send a letter in because I come up on
why is her income tax-free? Tell me why.
Because under the state of Kentucky, she do like family-owned provider. But
that's not tax-free.
Her income...
That's not tax-free.
Yeah, it's tax-free under the IRS. When it comes up under the IRS...
Well, I'm going to tell you something. That's news to me. I never heard of you're in an occupation, this specific occupation is tax-free. Unheard of. But I'm always happy to learn something because then I'll switch occupations. I would love to work in a tax-free occupation. Yo-Yo, would you like to work in a tax-free occupation? I never heard of that in my life. I think you need a consultation. I'm serious. I think you need I never... in a million years, and I hope I'm wrong, I never in a million years, and I've only been alive for 51 of those million years, I've never heard of a tax-free occupation. Maybe tax-free state, I don't know, maybe there's something special in the Kentucky state, but federally, there's no such thing as a tax-free occupation, I can assure you that.
Okay.
All right, so hold on 1 second. So she maybe is not paying her taxes. Hold on. Never. Have you ever heard, Yo-Yo, in all of your years, I got the best job. I don't got to pay taxes because that's my occupation.
Absolutely not.
Okay,
that's illegal.
Correct. And by the way, in a million years of your 30 some odd years on this earth, never heard that.
No.
Neither have I.
No. When I don't have to, because I do a lot of TV, so I don't have to pay taxes right away, but I still have to pay taxes at the end of the year.
You get 1099.
Exactly.
You're a contractor, of
course. Yeah, you still have to pay taxes.
That's
baby.
right. All right, let's go to Shelley in Providence, Rhode Island. Shelley.
Hello.
And by the way, Canishelle Kubika says she wants to move to Kentucky now.
I
Shelley,
like that.
how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. What's going on?
I have a quick question. My husband went in and did his citizenship interview on Monday, the 2nd of December. He received a form saying he passed, but we forgot to submit a paper, and we did it the same day after the interview. Is that going to be a delay?
Yes, unfortunately, because you got to wait for the officer to look at it. And, maybe he or she will look at it the same day, but he or she has 120 days to look at it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry about that. Let's go to Nikki in Washington, D.C. Nikki.
Hi, I am a U.S. citizen by naturalization.
Yes.
I was divorced and married a non-citizen in the U.S. The marriage didn't work out. I would like to petition for my fiancé overseas, the K-1 visa. So does this cause suspicion with the USCIS since I was married twice?
You're allowed to be married as many times as you fall in love, as long as they're bona fide marriages. Elizabeth Taylor, famous actress, she was married 7 times. She claims she was in love all 7 times, and twice to the same man, 2 different times to the same man. I think she was married to Richard Burton twice and some other guy twice. So, to each his own. You're allowed to fall in love, fall out of love, fall in love, fall out of love, and hopefully, Nikki, 3rd time's a charm for you.
Okay, and can I adjust my status after divorce with a conditional green card?
What do you mean with a conditional green card, adjust your status after divorce?
Well, this question is for somebody else. But
okay,
because,
right, all right.
Yeah.
So the answer is, if you have a conditional green card, you're not adjusting your status. You are removing, the term is removing conditions of your permanent residence at the end of the 2-year conditional green card period. And you can do that either jointly with your spouse, or another way to do it is to get divorced from your spouse and prove it was a bona fide marriage.
Okay, so if I was divorced before the 2 years is up, is that possible for me to?
The answer is yes. You submit your divorce decree, and you submit that prior to the divorce it was a real marriage. Here's the proof.
Okay, and the last question is, if I'm in the process, this is another person, if I'm in the process of divorce, does this affect my asylum interview pending?
Unless being married has something to do with your asylum? No.
No. And do I need a lawyer for to speed up the process for the interview for asylum if I'm waiting too long?
Yes.
Okay, got it. And that's my questions.
All right,
thank you so much.
Let's go to Faye in Houston. Faye. Faye.
Hello?
Hi, Faye.
Hi, how are you?
Good. What's going on?
Yes, so I was just charged with 2 domestic violence assault misdemeanor charges and 1 felony harassment domestic violence charge. I came to the U.S. 6.5 years ago and got my green card 5.5 years ago. I just wanted to know if I could apply for my citizenship now, or should I wait until the charges clear?
Well, you can apply, but you'll be denied. And if you're found guilty of domestic violence within 7 years of your entry into the United States, the arrest happened within 7 years, you're going to be automatically deportable. So you got to fight these charges. It's very important.
Okay, and is a deferred sentence considered a conviction?
If you plead guilty and are sentenced to anything, it is a conviction.
Okay, and
before the result of your case, you need to speak to an immigration lawyer to say, hey, if I plead guilty to this, what will happen to me? Because there's something called the stop time rule. And what the stop time rule says is that if you are convicted of a deportable offense within your first 7 years of entry into America, whether it's on a visitor's visa and then you adjusted your status, or you came here with a green card, within your first 7 years, you were arrested within the first 7 years, and from that arrest, even if the conviction's more than 7 years, if it's 8 years or 9 years, it took them 3 years to convict you. As if the arrest happened before 7 years and you're convicted after or whatever, there's a stop time rule, and that stop time rule says if you're deportable, that makes you automatically deportable. You're gonna have a big problem. There's no fighting that. If you are convicted of a deportable offense that may not be an aggravated felony, after you have been physically here for 7 years in some status, and then you have a green card for more than 5 years, then you can fight it out. But right now, based on what you told me, your arrest for a deportable offense happened within the first 7 years of your entry into the United States. You're going to have a problem if you're convicted.
The thing is, I was never actually arrested at the arraignment. I was just booked and they let me go.
That means you were arrested. Doesn't mean you're arrested and put in jail is different than if you're arraigned, you're going to see a judge. That is an arrest.
Okay. And do these the stop time rule, like you said, only applies to the conviction, not when when the charges are filed, not when the
stop time rule applies when the charges are filed if you get convicted.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Let's go to Millie in the Bronx. Millie.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Bri.
What can I do?
I have a 3 question for you.
Yes.
One, can I apply for VAWA whilst my I-130, I-485 is still pending for Stoke interview?
Yes.
Okay. And 2, my documents is with my lawyer, and then the lawyer, I don't know what she's doing to me. She's not been fair to me. And then I try to take my documents, and then she don't want to give it to me. Anytime that, I don't know. I'm supposed to attend the Stoke interview with my wife on Thursday on the 5th.
She has to give you documents if it's going to affect you legally, even if you owe her money. So I would suggest. What you do is make a consultation with me.
Yes. Okay. Because.
And then what's the last question? What's the last question? She has to. In New York, every state's different, but I'll tell you the deal in New York. In New York, a lawyer has a right to hold on to their work product. Your documents, your forms, your birth certificate, they have to give back to you. There is something called a retaining lien that if you owe money, the lawyer can say if they choose to, I'm not going to give you back the documents because you owe me money. I'm holding them until, this is New York only, every state's different, until you pay me. Now, there's a caveat to all of this, that even if you owe the lawyer money, if it's going to affect your legal case, regardless of whether you owe the lawyer money or not, they have to give you back your documents if it's going to put you in a worse position legally. And obviously you have an interview coming in a week. They got to give it back to you no matter what.
Yeah, Brian, this is what happened. She charged me, and then she told me I have to give her half of the money after the interview, then she collect the rest of the money. And then we agree on that. And then the day for the interview was on the 5th, which is Thursday.
All right,
and then
so
she have all the documents.
All right, so this is what, if you want, you could have a consultation with me. We're going to talk in circles. There's nothing I can do to get you your documents at the moment, but you can have a consultation with me and we can figure out where to go from there. So hold on one second. I just told you what the law is now. Hold on one second. Let's go to Hussein in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Hussein.
Hey, bro. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Bro, I have a question. I was a sponsor for my mother. She has already her visa. Her visa is the IR5 immigrant visa, and her visa will be expire January 27. I already booked a flight for her during January 15. She's gonna be fine before her visa expires, like 12 days. She will be in the United States. She's going to be fine?
Yes, as long as she's physically here before the visa expires, she's fine.
Thank you so much.
very welcome.
So I would love to book appointment with you, though.
Okay, hold on. Let's go to Lisa in West Palm. Lisa.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So my question is, my work. I applied for my work permit. My priority date has passed. I had done an inquiry and I did an expedition. So I got a mail to say show proof.
Whoa. I lost you here. You filed an adjustment. Your work permit expired. You did an inquiry, and then you did an expedition. Where did you do an expedition? I don't know what that means.
Could you repeat?
I don't understand what you mean by I did an expedition. That term doesn't mean anything to me.
I called the USCIS and asked if I could expedite my.
Oh, expedite. Okay.
Right.
And to expedite your work permit, they're not going to expedite it. So that's a fantasy that's going to happen. I'm being frank with you. Now, if this is what the law says, you file you have a pending case, your work permit expires, you file to renew.
No, not expired. My priority date has passed.
Your priority date has passed. For what? You filed an adjustment application?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's really not a priority date for an adjustment application, but basically what you're saying is I filed an adjustment.
For the I-765. When I checked the processing time.
1 second. The I-765 is your work permit. So what you're saying is that they give a date that those people who filed their work permits on XYZ date, they should be processed by now. And what you're saying is that date has passed and they still haven't processed your work permit. And so you called immigration and they said they're going to expedite it. You're talking to nobody there, basically. You're talking to an outside, I say this all the time, an outside company that answers the phones for immigration. You're not talking to anybody in authority who's going to do anything for you. My question to you is this. You filed an adjustment application. Besides going to take your fingerprints and your biometrics, did immigration ever send you back anything?
Only thing I got was for my I-130 that my case has been transferred to a new jurisdiction.
Did they ever ask you for additional documents?
No, so I'm saying no. I wasn't finished with my. So today I got an email stating to fax them proof why I want my case to be expedited for my work permit.
Okay, great. So what is your question?
Right. So the question is, I have a lot of medical bills. Can those be used for financial?
Sure. Why not?
Sure.
Sure. No one's expediting it. I'm just telling you it's a fantasy. They never expedite anything. But yes, anything goes.
I just wanted to know if I could use my medical, because I have a lot of medical bills. So I wanted to know if I could send those.
That's a good excuse. Yes, I have medical bills. I need to get a work permit so I can pay for them. Why not?
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right. So, in today's Spar Bernstein Close-Up, Yonathan, immigration attorney Yonathan Aftalan discusses a common misconception people have about immigration law. Let's watch.
Some of the biggest misconceptions about immigration law is people think that they cannot be helped and they're living in fear that ICE is going to pick them up any day. Yes, the ICE rates have gone up, but not to the point where they're just going to come to everyone's house. So I want people to come in and ask for help, but also not necessarily walk around the streets thinking that ICE is right behind them all the time. People who came here without papers and undocumented across the border, those people think that we also can't help them, which is not true. There are immigration laws that help people who've crossed the border. We'd be happy to meet with you to ask any questions that you have and see if we could get you any relief.
successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, let's go to Milton in Huntsville, Alabama. Milton.
Yeah, hello?
How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm calling from Huntsville, Alabama.
Yep.
Yeah, my question is, my wife and I had a confusion before my interview, and the day of my interview, she refused to go for the interview, but I do go for the interview, and then I was not able to complete the interview because she was in there, and when the interviewer asked me some question, and I answered the question and asked them where she was. I told them what happened between she and I, and they said they're going to come back to me. And when I left from the interview office, when I came home, and I received a letter telling me that my case was denied because she wasn't there. So I don't know what to do next.
Well, you're in a situation where everybody's in a situation where you have a marriage that breaks down. Okay, you have to show up to an interview with your spouse to get through. Bottom line, okay.
Right, but she refusing to go.
So then you have three choices. You got a woman. You got a woman who doesn't love you. She refuses to go. So one of three. One, you figure out how she can love you again, and you refile. So everybody get back lovey-dovey. Two, she's using power over you. Maybe there's other emotional abuse. Maybe there's physical abuse. You file a VAWA. I don't know. Or you divorce this woman because she's of no use to you and figure out another way to get a green card. Those are your three choices.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. You need a consult. Let's go to Daniel in Peabody, Massachusetts. Daniel.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Hi. I have two questions for you. I have a criminal record. Can I apply for my citizenship?
What's the criminal record?
I'm a green card holder for 17 years already.
What is the criminal record?
The first one was in 2008 for trespassing. It was dismissed. In 2012 was for driving without insurance and the disorder conduct. It was dismissed too. And then in 2015, it was credit card fraud, a misdemeanor.
I don't know. I would need to see more information. I'll tell you why. Because if the loss to the victim on the credit card fraud was in excess of $10,000, you're an aggravated felon. If it was less it was under $250. Okay, so maybe it's a petty offense, maybe it's not. But you need 5 years of good moral character. We're not at the 5-year mark yet. Either way, I would not file citizenship. I don't know if you're deportable or not. You need a consultation. So I got to look at everything. Hold on. Let's go to Fraz in Sacramento. Oh, I spoke to Fraz. That was him. Let's go to Sid in Kansas City, Missouri. Sid.
Hey, Brad, how are you doing, sir?
Okay, I'll go back to Fraz in a minute. Sid, how are you?
Wonderful. Sorry about that. I'm going to get to my office back and talk to you because it's kind of windy outside, sir. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yes. Hey, first of all, I want to thank you very much for what you're doing to people. That's very, very nice of you, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me, Brad? Right?
I do. I'm listening for your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And thank you for your nice compliments. Appreciate it.
All right. Sorry about that, man. I got to close my the office door here. I'm a green card holder, Brad.
Okay.
And I was divorced in 2010.
Right.
And after that, I got some issues. I got 2 misdemeanors, and I have another one. It pretty much 3. One from the family, they dropped it to misdemeanor. It was a credit card. It's less than $1,000.
Okay.
And in 2018, my green card was expired, and I have a lawyer. She told me you're going to wait another. We're not going to apply for citizenship. We're going to wait another year.
How many offenses do you have?
We're going to apply for that.
How many offenses do you have? You have 2 different offenses or 1?
I got 2 offenses. The first misdemeanor, I paid.
Both were credit card fraud?
No. The first one, no. It's like a fight. It's kind of stupid, little. You know what I mean?
A what?
It was like in a fight, like driving and somebody stopping the car. We fight like that. And
an assault. So you have 1 assault.
I got 2 assaults.
Two assaults, and then you also have a credit card fraud.
Yeah, credit card. I found the credit card and I used it.
All right, so there's 3 cases in total.
Yes.
All right.
But all of them misdemeanors. I never been jailed.
That's fine, but you're a deportable alien. I would not file citizenship. I would not file a green card. I would need to know more about
I got another 10 years. I filled in 2018. They give me another one.
That's fantastic. That doesn't mean you're not deportable. It just means they passed on you for that particular time.
I know when I'm saying to you, they renew in 2018. They give me another 10 years.
What I am saying to you is this.
Yeah.
Okay? Listen to me very carefully.
Yes, sir.
You have 3 different convictions, all misdemeanors.
Yes.
2 assault, 1 credit card. I can
Yes.
assure you on all 3 that at a minimum, they are crimes of moral turpitude. What the law says is if you have 2 crimes of moral turpitude, that makes you a deportable alien. You already have 3. You file to renew your green card. At that moment, an immigration officer looked at your case, and for whatever reason, whether you fell through the cracks, they decided you're not important to them at this moment, they were too busy, they looked the wrong way, who knows why. But this particular officer said, at this moment, in this time, in this part of our world, we're going to give Sid a pass, and we're going to give him back his green card. That does not mean that you now have a pass for life. That means you got lucky. What it also means is that every time immigration takes a look at you, a different officer, a new time period, they have the right to put you in deportation each particular time. So just because you got your green card mailed back to you doesn't mean you're out of the woods. It just means that I understand. And your lawyer said, wait another year to file for citizenship. And my answer to you is, before you file for citizenship as a deportable alien, I would like to see everything. I don't have an answer for you at this moment.
What I'm saying, sorry, Brad, what I'm saying to you, it was 6 years right now. There's nothing in my record. I didn't do nothing anyway.
Sid, if it was 100 years ago, you have 3 crimes of moral turpitude that makes you a deportable alien. And again, just because they mailed you back your green card doesn't mean you're not deportable. So you're asking me, is it okay to file my citizenship next year? Is my lawyer giving me proper advice? And my answer to you is, I don't know. I have no idea. I would need to see all your records. So hold on one second. Let's go to Michelle in West Orange, New Jersey. Michelle.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What's going on?
I have a quick question. I have a VAWA case which was approved in the I-797 said in May, but when I got the original receipt.
I don't know what happened to Michelle. She just went on hold. Let's go back to Michelle. When you got the original what?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm back.
Can you hear me?
When you got the original what? You said when you got the original?
When I got the receipt now, it said my case was approved, my VAWA case was approved in July. But then it said on May 29th. So I have a pending adjustment of status. Do you know what the processing time for that case is?
I have no idea. I don't know what you mean by May and July. It's what's on your application. It's not what's on the computer.
Oh, well, my priority is 2015.
Okay. You're asking me, Michelle.
Uh-huh.
The computer says one thing. My priority date or my approval notice says something else. I have a pending adjustment. When will I get a green card? I don't have the slightest idea when you'll get your green card. How would I know? How would I know if it's in 30 days or 45 days? I don't know. I really don't. All I can tell you is you can look up online. You could look up online what the processing dates are, which is the same thing I would do, and you can see if you're in that time frame. I could also tell you that if you have an adjustment pending for more than 12 months, the government is violating your rights, especially you're an immediate relative. So if it's more than 12 months, they're violating your rights. So what I can do for you as a lawyer is either threaten to sue the government with a mandamus or do a mandamus to force them to give you an interview. I can do things to get them to give you an interview. What I can't do is read the future, that if you do nothing, when will you get an interview? I don't have the slightest idea.
Right. But the processing time I saw on the website is on, I think it's June 2017.
Uh-huh.
So that's past my time. But I have a lawyer there who does nothing. So could I transfer my case to you?
You absolutely can. Hold on one second. Let's go to, I have to go back to Fraz. Fraz in Sacramento, California. My apologies. Fraz.
Hey, Brett, how are you?
How are you?
My question is, I'm a student. I came to the United States about 6 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I have my green card, but I accidentally registered to vote in my second year. I think I was walking out of class and I was registered. But I've never voted, and I canceled my registration within 3 months when I found out. Is there a chance that I can still apply for citizenship, or how do I go about that?
I'm not sure if you made a false claim to U.S. citizenship when you voted. So before you tell the world that you committed a crime, I would hold on and have a consultation with me. So hold on. Let's go to Paula in Hartford. Paula.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I have 3 questions for you real quick. So today I got a letter about my son's I-130. What happened when I got the birth certificate, I realized that my middle name was spelled incorrectly. So now they're saying that mother not identified on birth certificate. They're asking to send supporting documents. So could I send the religious documents showing that he was christened?
Sure. And you could also say, I'm willing to take a blood test, worst comes to worst.
Okay. And could I put the school records with it along with the DNA?
Yes.
So those 3 things will suffice, right?
Yes, but don't take a separate DNA. Just say in an affidavit, I'm willing to take a DNA if you want to set it up. Or if they've already given you instructions on how to do it, then follow the instructions. Just don't do it. Just don't do it independent, because you'll waste your money.
Don't do it. So I can just send with them the religious documents, the early school records, along with the affidavit, telling them I'm willing to do it?
Right, and then explaining why your name is wrong on the birth certificate. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
All right.
And then I have another question. My sister has her grandson. He came up from Jamaica. He's now 7. He's living with her, but the daughter goes back and forth. Is it possible that she could adopt him?
She could, or you can do a special juvenile immigrant if it's not in his best interest to return to Jamaica. We can talk about the different options.
Okay. And then my friend, she has a case there with your firm in Hartford, but they wanted immigration records for the grandmother of the daughter that goes back and forth, and they can't find the citizenship certificate, but they said they need a USCIS number. Is there any other way?
I don't know what the case is off the top of my head, but if she's a client, she should contact our office, and we'll be more than happy to help her. So hold on one second. But I don't know what the case is about. I can't solve our clients' cases on the air. I have no idea without looking at anything.
Okay.
All right. So hold on one second. Let's go to Bunja in Chicago, Illinois. Bunja.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine, Brad. I have a question. I'm a air-conditioner green card holder right now, but right now I have separated with my wife. We live in a different separate places. But right now we are in the situation that, there is now a possibility of coming back together. So I have 6 more months before to remove my unconditional. So I want to ask, can I remove my conditional without her?
Yes. Get divorced and prove it was a bona fide marriage. Start the divorce now.
Just start a divorce now?
Right now, you can file an I-751 on your own with a divorce and proof it was a bona fide marriage. So hold on one second. We can help. All right. By the way, if you didn't get your questions answered, we're going to get to social media check-in in a few minutes. We'll be able to answer more questions. But you could also follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. And if I know you're part of Brad Squad, or you make a comment, or I think I know who you are, or I may have heard your name mentioned once in my life, I'll try to answer your questions if you DM me. And if I can help you, I will. And if I can, I'll tell you to make a consultation. You could also follow us at Brad Show Live. If you follow us at Brad Show Live, you can see all the best behind the scenes, best of our content, best of our shows in the past, and you can follow along. As a matter of fact, we have the Brad Show Live banana up for auction right now on our Instagram page at Brad Show Live for a measly $125. $1,000. There's our banana. You can see it on Instagram. And Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, what about you?
I could already see that being a joke that we're going to use for the rest of the year, maybe even next. But you guys can follow me at Yonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
All right. So with that, Spar Bernstein trial attorney David Moreno, he handles both criminal cases and personal injury cases. I spoke with him recently about a case in which he was able to save his client from having a criminal record, even though the evidence was really not in his favor. Let's watch. So David Moreno is one of our incredible criminal defense attorneys here at Spar and Bernstein. He is a former Manhattan District Attorney. He has been named the National Black Lawyers Top 40 Attorneys Under the Age of 40. He has been named the top 10 lawyers under the age of 40 for 2016 and one of the top 100 trial lawyers in America. Not only that, he has just been named as Expert Network Distinguished Lawyer. Now, David, I went through your Avo page. It's an online site where people go to look for attorneys, and sometimes former clients like to leave nice reviews. I saw one review which was posted on March 20th by a gentleman by the name of Jacques. He gave you 5 stars out of 5 stars. He wrote the following: David is an excellent lawyer. David Moreno saved my career and ensured that I would not have a criminal record, which is the best that could have possibly have happened given the circumstances. He got my DWI case lowered to a traffic infraction, which ensured that I could remain in my job and continue to make a living doing what I love. I am grateful that Mr. Moreno took on my case and helped me out when I was at my lowest. What did you do to help him? And let's start even saying, what is DWI in New York versus a DUI?
In New York, there's driving while intoxicated, which basically means that you're operating a motor vehicle and you have more than 0.08% of alcohol in your blood. Now, driving while ability impaired, which is the lower offense in New York City, basically means while you're driving your vehicle and your ability to operate the motor vehicle is impaired by alcohol to any extent. One thing that our listeners should know, operation of a motor vehicle under the law when it comes to the context of a DWI doesn't mean that you're actually physically driving your car. To operate a motor vehicle under the law means that you are simply behind the wheel and the keys are ignition and the engine is running. So our client Jacques actually wasn't moving the motor vehicle when he was pulled over. He was sitting behind the wheel of the car, sleeping with the car on. And under the law, that means you've operated the motor vehicle.
If the keys were in his pocket, what would that be? And the car was off?
That would mean he's just sleeping in his car.
He's sleeping in his car.
Good.
Right.
But a lot of times people leave the key ignition and the engine running. Why? Because it's cold out.
Right.
They're trying to stay warm. But it makes a big difference. And it opens and exposes you to criminal charges when you have the key in ignition and the engine running and you've been drinking.
So this guy's drinking. He puts the key in his ignition to keep, put the heat on in the car, sleep it off. Sounds like he's doing the smart thing, except the cop comes over, I assume, and you tell us what happened.
All right, so Jacques came to us quite a while after his case was open. He had been with the prior attorney. He was not satisfied with the results he was getting. They were offering him jail time and a misdemeanor. It was his first offense. He had a high blow. I believe Jacques' blow at the time was like over a 0.15.
That's like seriously.
Which is about double the legal limit.
Right.
There are 2 types of blows that you would deal with in a DWI stop. One that the police could administer is called a portable breath test, which is the machine that they literally carry with them in their patrol vehicle and they'll offer to you on the side of the road. The other test is done back at a precinct, and that's a test that will be admissible in court, and that's called the Intoxicated Driver Test Unit, the IDTU test.
Now, the test that they do on the side of the road, that they can't use in a court of law. It's not scientifically calibrated, I guess. That would be.
It's not reliable.
It's not
to the same extent of the IDTU.
But I guess the police use it just as a reference to say I had a right to arrest the person.
Correct. And then the other way they use it is if you blow on the portable breath test at the scene and you blow a 0.20 and then you blow a 0.17 later, they're going to say, well, it took me 2 hours to get you to the precinct, but when we stopped you on the street, you were a lot more intoxicated than you were even when we brought you to the precinct. So that's just supporting evidence to show how drunk you are. These police officers involved actually did not have the portable breath test with them. What they did do, and what they almost always do in DWI arrests, they actually had our client do field sobriety tests when they first stopped him, which include the walk and turn test, where they tell you to take 10 steps, turn on a 10th step, walk pretty much like in a military fashion, one foot in front of the other. The other one is the finger to the nose test. The other one they have you do is, say your ABCs, then you say them backwards. Those are all tests that the cops try to use to determine whether or not you are intoxicated or inebriated to any extent. They do those at the scene. They then offer those same tests oftentimes back at the precinct because they want to see if there's any difference. At the precinct, they're videotaping everything. At the scene, they generally don't have they don't have a camera with them. So for them, from a law enforcement perspective, the best evidence they can use is actually bringing the jurors, bringing the DA's office to the precinct to see just how intoxicated the person appeared.
So how did you go from they got this guy dead center, they take a machine that is admissible in court, 1.5, he is done. He is over the limit. They have a scientific test saying he is, and he comes to David Moreno unhappy with his current lawyer, and by the time David Moreno's done, he's walking away with a traffic ticket. What did you do?
Well, there are a number of ways to, for lack of a better term, to skin a cat in a criminal defense case. In a case like this, where the evidence is strong, it's ironclad, we're talking about a scientific test. It's a very unique sort of crime in that the evidence is specifically a machine. Whereas in, say, a robbery or a theft, the evidence is generally witness accounts. In this kind of case, the evidence is a machine and the evidence is right there for the jury or for the prosecutor to look at. So I knew there weren't many possible ways to defend this case at a trial. Obviously, everything that happens up until the time he blows in the intoxilizer is relevant. Did the police follow the proper procedures? Did they instruct him on his right to refuse the test? Did they read him his Miranda rights? All of that stuff comes into play at a trial. In this particular case, that stuff was all done by the book. Right, so now we're looking into our tool bag. How are we going to get this guy off? He's a really good guy. He's got a great job. I presented Jocks as an individual, and I changed the perception of him being just a defendant that blew a .15 to who he was in the totality of his life. Right, being a former prosecutor, I knew the type of things that moved me. And for me, if he was the type of person that if I gave him a good deal, would just go out and do it again, I'm not going to give him a good deal. So in this case, I got reference letters from his previous employers. I got his college degrees. I got letters from places that he volunteered at. I got members of the community that knew him very well. I'm talking about deacons, doctors, lawyers, to write letters and say, I know Jocks to be a man of good character, and this is not his character.
So this guy was looking at how much in terms of a punishment when you started, and then by the time you're done, what happened?
Well, when he was arrested, he was exposed to the maximum penalty, which is up to a year in jail for a misdemeanor driving while intoxicated. When I came
losing his license.
Losing his license.
Perhaps his job.
$1,000 in fines, plus losing his job, a bunch of specific classes that are affiliated with this sort of conviction. When I came in on the case, he was looking at significantly lower jail time, but they were still asking for jail time. And there were a number of ways to deal with this. I didn't tell the prosecutor, look, he's a good guy, let's slap him on the wrist, he's done with it. He had to earn it. I told the prosecutor, I said, look, he's going to do every single thing that he would have had to do, even if he got the misdemeanor. He's going to do these classes, he's going to pay these fines, he's going to earn it, he's going to stay out of trouble for a period of time. I think in this case I asked for 6 months. He did all of those things in addition to him being a good person, in addition to him not actually moving the vehicle. And the prosecutor said, you know what? Your client earned it. I'm going to give him the traffic infraction. I'm going to allow for him to not have a criminal record, to move forward as a productive member of society, for him not to lose his job, and for him to continue to be able to care for his family.
We're not telling people to go drink and drive, and we're not condoning any of this. But for everybody out there, you do have the right to representation. And when you are charged with a crime, you only have one chance to get it right. Generally speaking, you can't go back after you're found guilty and say, hey, I want a do-over. It's too bad. You're in jail. So don't take that chance. Find good attorneys who are going to fight for you, who are very smart and know what they're doing. I'm sitting next to one right now, David Moreno. Fantastic job. The telephone number to reach David Moreno, by the way, here at Spar Bernstein is 1-800-529-5465. David, wonderful job. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, Julian, social media check-in, or I should say, all right, Yonathan. Julian,
he knows what he's doing.
He's just the TriCaster guy.
No, he's not just.
Just the TriCaster guy.
Listen, without him,
there
this
is
wouldn't
no
be
show.
nothing.
That's right. That's right.
All right, guys, our first question is...
He's not just the TriCaster guy.
No, he's not.
He's Julian, the TriCaster guy.
Thank you. Okay. Our first question saying, my wife had both EAD and AP approved on December 2nd, thinking that we were going to get a combo card, but we only had the EAD, no AP in it. My question is, would there be maybe if there will be a chance that they sent the AP separately and it was a mistake from USCIS not to print serve as advanced parole on the EAD card?
No, you probably didn't fill out the I-131. Send it now and you'll get one.
All right. Jamaican African or Jam African. Well,
Jam African.
I like that. Jam African
Some
Express.
Combination between African and Jamaican.
Yes, that's
so brilliant, this Brad Bernstein.
My goodness.
So brilliant.
Lord.
Yes.
That was great. So, hey, I was detained.
So far, the social media check-in's going straight down the tube so far. Let's get it going.
I'm Jamaican. I was detained by ICE this year for a visa overstay on B1, B2. I should have spent only 6 months, but spent 2 years. My visa expires in 2026, however. I took a voluntary departure, bought my ticket, and returned to my country. I have a spouse in the U.S. and was wondering if it's possible to re-enter on a fiance visa. For I was told by my previous attorney that I'm not banned from the country and can return on a waiver.
Well, you can't come on a fiance visa if you got a spouse, but your spouse can certainly file for you. And depending if you overstayed by more than a year or not will depend on whether or not you need a waiver. But taking a voluntary departure is okay.
All right, I have one question. My file was approved on January 12th and date of filing was on the 7th of January. They received the file on the 8th of January. Now, my problem is my daughter turned 21 on January 8th. Will she be eligible under my visa? I've already received my wife and son application and have already paid for the visa, just waiting for my daughter.
I don't know who's sponsoring her. I don't have the slightest idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Kajelia is saying, can medical bills be used as evidence when you expedite your work permit?
We answered that question.
I feel like
we answered that question because she called. And I said, I don't think they ever expedite anything, but if they do, fantastic.
Okay.
I've never seen an expedite on a work permit ever in my life.
Oh, okay.
And having medical bills probably won't do it, but I said go for it. Worst thing they'll say is no.
All right. Miles 7 saying, please, I have a question for a friend. Can he apply for VAWA while he waits for the I-130, I-485 application pending for the call?
We answered that too. They called on the phone.
They called on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. Mama saying, my husband is a U.S. citizen and used a disability income. Her daughter has it too under his pension. Can we use that too for the income requirement for our I-130 application?
Yes, as long as it's not need-based. Disability is generally not need-based.
Our newcomer, Tutsi.
Yeah,
or Tootie.
right.
Tootie. Oh, it's Tootie. Oh, Tootie. I like that. My husband is Pakistani and waiting for his visa to immigrate to America. We have been on an AP since April and we have sent all paperwork in. Any advice on what to do next?
Yes, it's called a mandamus because Pakistan is like a black hole with administrative processing.
And since she's new, just quickly, what a mandamus?
A mandamus is a lawsuit against the federal government to force them to do their job, which is approve a green card.
All right, so basically you should hire Brad for that.
Correct.
All right, Mohammed saying, can a U.S. citizen receive just Medicaid sponsor spouse?
Can a U.S. citizen receive
Receiving
Medicaid,
just Medicaid sponsor spouse?
No, because that's government assistance Medicaid.
All right, Tasia saying, what to do if after filing joint I-751, you split from your U.S. citizen spouse but not divorced or done any divorce proceeding?
Well, you can show up with your split spouse, but that probably won't go very well since your spouse could care less about you at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can get a divorce, which is what I generally suggest, and prove that it was a bona fide marriage that's now ending.
Idowu saying, my wife got married in New Jersey 2014, separated in 2016, divorced in 2019, and married me in September 2019. Can she file a change of status for me after she's done the same for someone in 2014?
Yes, you're allowed to fall in love, fall out of love, and fall back in love.
Okay, Baliabe saying, Brad, what will you do if you never received an interview letter from USCIS and updated your case to no show for the appointment of an interview, and up to now I still have the letter from USCIS?
Well, I would say find a lawyer. So far, you didn't show up to an interview. It sounds like your case got denied.
Vinette saying, I submitted an I-485, I-130, and I-765. At what point do I need to submit the medical report?
At the time of the interview.
Nadine saying first time here, so welcome Nadine.
By the way, Tootie, the number, she wants to know how you reach me. Just the number scrolling below where it says call, that's the number.
It's right there.
It's right
Call
there.
Spar Bernstein.
Correct.
All right, Nadine saying first time here, so welcome Nadine.
Yes.
What if my spouse filed for my kids outside of the country, maybe? It says county. But whatever. Everything approved by NVC in awaiting interview appointment letter, and now we're separated. I also have a pending ROC. I'm worried.
Well, if you're separated, it sounds like you may have a big problem getting your kids here.
Oh. Sheldon
I'd be worried too.
Yeah, so they should probably call you.
Yes.
Right, okay. Sheldon saying, I got my green card approved through VAWA on October 29th and received the approval letter a few days later. I've yet to receive my green card. Can you give me an estimated waiting time that I should receive my green card?
About 8 weeks.
Jacqueline Brown saying, how long after your I-601 waiver is approved it will take for you to get an interview? It was approved June 2019.
I don't know.
Okay.
You're asking me. Only the Magic 8 Ball knows the day. Every question, when will I get my interview? How would I have any idea? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, when they say that, how about you give like a estimate of how long they're supposed to
They're supposed
there.
to be 12 months. They sometimes take 3 years. Sometimes they take 2 years. Sometimes they take 18 months.
So it could change.
I don't know. I don't know the paperwork that you did. I don't know if it was done right. I don't know where you live. I don't know where your file is. It's a big mystery.
Basically,
But
those are questions for your lawyer,
right? Only the Magic 8 Ball
Yes.
knows, and the Magic 8 Ball says, outlook looks good.
Oh, well, okay. Well, hopefully
all I can tell
that's
you.
right. Safie saying, what happens after filing a mandamus for 120 days?
Hopefully you get a result.
Okay, Ms. Berry saying, does a VAWA recipient have to stay married to file for citizenship?
No.
Drew Berry saying, what documents should I bring to my marriage-based green card interview?
Proof that it's a bona fide marriage. Bona fide marriage is you live together and have a financial relationship. So everything you can show that you live in the same house, and everything you can show that you have a financial relationship.
Daniel G saying, how does having educational difference affect marriage-based green card process? I'm pretty highly educated, and my wife, who is a U.S. citizen, has not graduated high school.
Well, as long as you're going to have a conversation with her.
All right, Don saying...
I mean, I don't know,
yeah.
you know?
Okay, Don saying, hey, I just want to ask about my sister. USCIS denied her I-751 waiver. They gave her a hearing date, and we went to immigration court. The judge granted her I-751. What's next step for her?
Hopefully she could now apply for her citizenship. Congratulations.
All right, Mazel Tov. Ebony saying, can my second cousin file an I-86 or I-846? Is that I-864? Or is there I-846?
There is. It's a form. Well, let me see the rest of the question.
Okay. Can my second cousin file an I-846 as a co-sponsor?
I-864.
That's enough.
Okay.
Give me some props. I got that one.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
I'm a U.S. citizen. My husband is a beneficiary.
Anyone can be a co-sponsor as long as they earn the money.
Okay, Asila saying, if my husband is a green card holder, can I do my I-130 until he becomes a citizen? Please, I need to know so I can make an appointment for a consultation to start my paperwork.
If your husband's a citizen, can you make an
Nope.
appointment?
If my husband is a green card holder, can I do my I-130 until he becomes a citizen?
Absolutely.
Kevin Lowe saying, my mother had filed for me on October 10th, 2012. My priority date has passed, and yet I've not received any letter. When should I expect a response?
A letter with an approval, you should get a mandamus going.
Okay. Markel saying, thank you for the good work you guys are doing. I received my first notice from USCIS, and then on Friday I received my biometric date. How long will I know if my application was accepted?
It was accepted. You got your biometric date.
Samantha saying, what is the responsibility of my sponsorship after our divorce?
You're on the hook for 10 years or until your spouse becomes a citizen, married or divorced.
Okay. Michael saying, how long will it take to get the information that I sent to get prepared for a fiancé visa?
Magic 8 Ball, when will Michael get the documentation to prepare for a fiancé visa? I have no idea what the question. Maybe the Magic 8 Ball knows the answer to this question. It says very likely.
Okay. All right.
So you ask a vague question, you get vague answers.
Yes. All right. Ajit saying my case is, that means ask the lawyer. Ajit saying my case is an administrative process. How much time will it take?
It shouldn't take more than 120 days. After that, they're violating your rights.
Okay. Amelia saying I have a VAWA approved 2018 and 2 citizen toddlers and a pending I-485 notice date March of 2018. Can I be denied if I have 2 reentry 20-year bars or approved?
Yes, you can.
All right. Daniel saying, how long will I wait after I submitted a separate I-130 for a child? 5 and 6, because I became a citizen after I filed the I-130.
It shouldn't take more than 12 months.
Okay. The case was approved and sent to NVC 4 months before. So
12 months.
Okay. Mickey saying...
the case has already been approved at the National Visa Center. They should upgrade it immediately. You got to let them know and start processing for their visas in another country.
See, this is why I have to read it all sometimes. Listen. All right. Mickey saying, my mother has been a green card holder for almost 10 years, but she's almost 84. I tried to make her a U.S. citizen, but she doesn't know how to read or write. What should I do?
How long has she had a green card?
Almost 10 years.
Nothing you can do. She has to be a green card holder for over 15.
Okay. Juliet saying my husband is a green card holder. His passport is expired. Is it going to affect him if he files for his stepchildren?
No.
Simone Brown saying I filed marriage-based AOS on August 2019, biometrics September 20th. Status changed online to case ready to be scheduled for an interview October 18th. How long until I get the interview and a work permit?
Well, you should get your work permit if it's been more than 6 months. So if you didn't, that's a problem. Your interview could be tomorrow, 1 year from today, or 3 years from today.
DJ Voltage saying I have a pending case. I did my biometrics. Can I fly domestic?
Yes.
Deed Gore saying, hey, Brad Squad. My U.S. citizen husband is in the process of petitioning for me, and he also petitioned for my daughter back in Jamaica. She'll be 21 in January.
As long as the application went in before she's 21 and he's a step parent, which means the marriage had to happen before 18, she's under Child Status Protection Act. She will get here shortly.
Okay, Rajesh said, I just want to know if the law changed for brother and sister sponsorship during...
no, it's not changed.
Okay. Elizabeth saying, if your husband withdrew from your case on the day of the interview for a 10-year green card, how long will it take before I received a letter from immigration? It's been over a month.
Very shortly, if he withdrew the case, you're going to get put in deportation. Should be coming any day.
Okay. Peter saying, can a citizen get deported?
No.
GT saying AP 131 ends March 27, 2020, renewing my AP in 2 days since it's within the 180 days. I plan to travel abroad December 23rd for 4 weeks. Can I travel while renewal AP is pending and return on current valid AP documents? This is employment based.
As long as you have a valid advance parole, it's perfectly fine.
All right, and the last one for right now is Del Rito saying, I filed an AOS package for my wife. She's doing biometrics this Thursday. How soon should we expect the interview date? Her priority date is October 4th, 2019.
Should be within another day, week, month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months. I have no idea.
Awesome.
All right, so Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, that's you.
That is me.
You recently quizzed people on the street on their knowledge of traditions and celebrations around the globe. It's a fun game. Let's play at home, and let's play here in the studio. I'm going to play too.
All right, let's all play.
How I do. Let's watch.
Hey, Brad Squad, this is Yonathan Elias out here in the streets of New York. It is hot out, but guess what? We're going to find our next victims for a brand new game called Celebrations and Traditions Around the World. Let's go get them. All right, I got my new friend here. He's the Ken doll from Austria. What's up? What's your name?
Christian.
What's your name and where you from?
I'm
Hey, Brad Squad, this is Yonathan. All right, I got my new friend here. He's the Ken doll from Austria. What's up? What's your name? All right, I got my new friend here.
Yo-Yo Elias, boy, it was hot. It was so hot out there in the middle of the winter. that the TriCaster just burned to a crisp.
That hot and cold.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was so hot out here. It was weird how hot it was,
It was so
when it's
weird.
so cold outside.
Yeah, we're going to show that next time.
So let's do something we like to call not social media check-in. Speed round.
We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
do?
7,
We're all
8,
screwed
9,
up here
10,
right
11,
now.
12. Let's do 12.
12 questions in speed round.
Yes.
All right. And we're going to do how many seconds, Yonathan? We'll let you decide.
Let's do 120.
12 questions?
115.
105.
Wow.
1 minute and 5 seconds on the clock, Julian. You ready? Do we have anything for speed round, or everything just exploded in there?
We're just gonna read them,
Okay,
and if it's gonna be repeats, listen.
Where's the clock? Do we even see a clock there?
Because I already see some repeats.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna just go with whatever we got.
Hey, look, the show was great today, so it's okay. The ending.
Jessica Levy's blaming the maestro.
Yeah. Maestro isn't even behind this.
Oh man, maestro.
All right, are we ready? We can't see it, but it's all
Can
good.
we go, Joe?
All right.
All right, but Lisa says Yo-Yo's burning up the internet.
Yeah, look, thank you. All right, ready? Go. God saying, hey, Brad, how much does it cost for the I-130, I-131, I-485, and I-765 in Arizona?
$1,760.
Jemima saying, how long will it take for parents to file for the unmarried child over the age of 21?
About 5 to 7 years.
Oscar saying, my mom is filing I-130 concurrently with the AOS under 245I. Should I also file the day's I-601A now too? He doesn't
you don't
qualify.
Need a 601A if you're filing an I-45.
Hassel saying, has the VAWA form been renewed?
Yes.
OBTV saying, what's next after biometrics?
Waiting for a green card interview.
Okay, can medical bills be used as evidence when you expedite your work permit?
Yes.
Sefi saying, what happens after filing mandamus on 120 days?
You wait for a decision and a judge approves whatever, or tells the government to give you a decition.
Does a VAWA recipient have to stay married to file for a citizen?
No.
Okay, Ajit saying, my case is in the administrative process. How much time will it take?
At least 120 days.
Can a citizen get deported?
No.
With an approved I-130 and pending?
This is a repeat.
Yeah.
Might as well blow up the studio, the whole thing.
I had no time
We just repeated.
This is not my fault.
All right, I want you to know something. This show was going great. Until Yo-Yo was on the street and it was damn hot outside.
It was so
hot. And then after that, we do social media check-in with the same, speed round with the same questions we did social media check-in with.
Let me just say, it ain't my fault.
All right, well.
Golly, look, they're saying
the
go,
buck
Dr.
stops
Yo-Yo.
with Brad Bernstein. I will take full responsibility for all of this.
Thank you. So they know that it ain't me.
Yes, we will be back tomorrow with a better show, I promise you. And, we have comments of the day.
Oh, yeah, you forgot about that, huh?
Oh, Julian! After we screwed up everything.
Right.
Comments of the day. All right. Just believe it says throw the bottle of question 6.
All right, our first comment of the day comes from Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying, my news channel's so informative, my news channel so information and positive and informative. Wow, I love it. So I guess this is the news channel? This is her news channel.
We are the news channel, yes.
I like that.
All right, very nice.
All right, now we are going to talk about some of the winners of the Misses, all the Miss competitions. So Carrie DeReal Slimaz saying Miss South Africa with her little bald-headed kinky self. When you have such beauty, intellect, and confidence, striking combination, love it.
Wow,
so this is Miss South Africa.
This is
right. This was the winner of Miss Universe, Zozibini Tunzi, who's 26 years old.
She almost looks like your haircut.
That's what I said.
Yeah, it almost looks like Yonathan's haircut.
And that's what's so beautiful about it, because it doesn't matter about the long hair and all that. And
look how striking she is.
Gorgeous. Yeah. And I do want to say, a big congratulations to her, of course, and also Miss USA, who is Chelsea Christ, and then Miss Teen USA, who is Calais Garris, and Miss America, Nia Franklin. So these are all Black beautiful women who won Miss Universe, Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, and Miss America all in 2019.
Yes,
First time in history.
Yes.
So, she is gorgeous. Miss Carolina. Baby boy likes that.
Hit up Yo-Yo.
Baby boy likes Miss Carolina.
Miss Carolina, hit up Yo-Yo at Yonathan's Elias TV.
There you go. Just slide in the DMs.
That's right.
And okay, our third comment of the day comes from Cindy Albert saying, can you please hit the like button, not the emoji thumbs up, but the tiny icon that turns blue. Thanks, guys. This is the only way to encourage this wonderful God-sent man. This is very
nice.
true.
Yes,
it makes him very happy.
Very true.
It makes us happy too because our boss is happy.
Very true.
And our last comment of the day comes from K Stages Farm saying, Uncle Brad and team are the best. That's why I can't skip a day without listening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Now, what I was saying before is I take full responsibility for every mishap that happened on this show today. I will make sure that tomorrow these mishaps happen just as often or maybe just a little less.
Okay. We don't want it just as often.
A little less.
Oh, thank you.
It's part of the fun of the show.
It is.
All right. We'll see you
true.
all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?